Go outside right now. Walk to the nearest garden pot, the oldest stone, the piece of wood that has been sitting in the corner of your yard for months. Lift it. What you find underneath will almost certainly include them. Small, gray, armored, moving in every direction at once, and at least some of them curling instantly into perfect spheres the moment the light hits them. Dozens of them, sometimes hundreds, clustered together in the cool darkness beneath the object, completely unbothered by the world above. Your first instinct, if you are like most people, is to put the pot back down, or reach for something to get rid of them. They look like a problem. They look like something that does not belong in a healthy garden. But here is what I need you to understand before you do anything else. What you are looking at is not a pest. It is not a sign of neglect or rot or anything going wrong in your garden. What you are looking at is one of the hardest working, most chemically sophisticated, and most misunderstood creatures in your entire outdoor space. And the day you stop trying to eliminate them is the day your garden becomes measurably healthier. Today, we are going to talk about what roly-polies, known scientifically as Armadillidium vulgare and more formally as pillbugs, actually are. Not what they look like, not the fear response they trigger, what they actually are, what they actually do, and why the truth about them is so strange and so useful that most people who hear it want to immediately tell someone else. Let's start with the fact that will change everything. The roly-poly is not an insect. Read that again. It is not an insect. It has no relationship to beetles or ants or any of the other creatures we associate with garden soil. The pillbug is a crustacean. It belongs to the order Isopoda, the same biological order as shrimp, crabs, lobsters, and barnacles. It is, in the most literal taxonomic sense, a land-dwelling crustacean, a relative of the creatures you order at seafood restaurants, that evolved over millions of years to leave the ocean entirely and make its home in the soil beneath your garden pots. I remember the first time I read this in a research paper and had to stop and go back to reread it. A crustacean, in my garden, the same family as the lobster on someone's dinner plate, living under a clay pot next to my tomatoes. It is the kind of fact that feels like it cannot be right until you look at the animal again, really look at it, and suddenly the segmented armor, the multiple pairs of legs, the way it moves, all make a completely different kind of sense. This single fact, crustacean, not insect, is the key to understanding everything remarkable about what they do. Because crustaceans evolved in water, their biology was built for aquatic environments. And when the ancestors of the pillbug made the transition to land, a process that took tens of millions of years and involved extraordinary physiological adaptations, they carried certain aquatic biological tools with them. Tools that, in the soil environment, became something no other land creature possesses. The pillbug breathes through structures called pleopodal lungs, modified gill-like organs on its underside that must remain moist to function. This is why they congregate in damp, dark spaces. It is not preference, it is survival. They are, in a biological sense, still partly aquatic, still tethered to moisture the way their ocean ancestors were tethered to water. But this aquatic heritage gave them something extraordinary in return. Pillbugs are detritivores. They feed on decomposing organic matter, dead leaves, rotting wood, fungi, the decaying remains of other organisms. In doing this, they perform one of the most essential functions in any garden ecosystem. They break down organic material into forms that soil bacteria and fungi can process further, accelerating the decomposition cycle that produces the nutrients your plants need to grow. A garden with a healthy pillbug population decomposes its organic waste faster, recycles nutrients more efficiently, and maintains better soil structure than a garden without them. This alone would make them worth protecting. But it is not the most remarkable thing they do. The most remarkable thing, the one that scientists have been studying intensively for the past 2 decades, is what happens when pillbugs encounter heavy metals in the soil. Lead, cadmium, copper, zinc, arsenic. These toxic metals accumulate in urban and suburban soils from decades of industrial activity, vehicle exhaust, old paint, treated wood, and contaminated groundwater. They do not break down, they do not go away. They accumulate in soil, enter plant tissue, and move up through the food chain, into the vegetables you grow, into the bodies of the animals that eat them, eventually into you. Pill bugs eat contaminated soil material, and when they do, something extraordinary happens inside their bodies. Research published in the journal Cell Biology International identified specialized cells in the pill bug's midgut, called S cells, that actively absorb heavy metal ions from digested material and sequester them in mineralized spheres. The metals are not processed. They are not excreted back into the soil. They are locked inside the pill bug's body, permanently removed from the soil ecosystem, stored in a form that cannot re-enter the food chain. The pill bug does not just live in your soil, it filters it. It is, by any scientific measure, one of the most effective biological heavy metal remediation agents ever identified, operating continuously, for free, in the exact locations where contamination accumulates. Studies conducted at research institutions across Europe have found that pill bug populations in contaminated urban soils contain measurably higher concentrations of lead and cadmium than the surrounding soil, meaning the animals are actively drawing these toxins out of the environment and concentrating them in their own bodies. When those animals die and are consumed by other decomposers, the metals are passed further up the food chain in contained, mineralized form, significantly less bioavailable than the free ionic metals in contaminated soil. Your pill bugs are running a detoxification program in your garden, and most people are stepping on them. But there is one more dimension to the pill bug's biology that deserves attention, and it is the one that explains the rolling behavior that gave them their most famous name. The defensive curl is not simply a behavioral response to threat, it is a masterpiece of structural engineering. The pill bug's exoskeleton, the overlapping armor plates that give it that segmented, almost mechanical appearance, is designed to interlock precisely when the animal curls. The result is a sphere with no exposed soft tissue, no vulnerable entry points, and a surface that distributes external pressure across the entire structure rather than concentrating it at any single point. Engineers at several universities have studied the pill bug's rolling mechanism as a model for designing flexible, impact-resistant structures, the kind used in robotics, protective equipment, and aerospace components. The animal that people step on in their gardens has a body architecture sophisticated enough to inspire aerospace engineering research. This is who is living under your garden pots. Not a pest, not a problem. A land crustacean with a 300 million year evolutionary history, a gill-based respiratory system adapted for soil, a digestive process that accelerates nutrient cycling, a heavy metal sequestration system that protects your soil and your food, and a structural defense mechanism that has inspired modern engineering. The most practical thing you can understand about pill bugs is this: they thrive where the conditions are right, and their presence tells you something true about your garden. They need moisture, organic matter, and darkness, the same conditions that support healthy decomposer communities, earthworm populations, and the fungal networks that feed your plants. A garden with hundreds of pill bugs under its pots and stones is a garden with living, active, biologically rich soil. A garden without them is often a garden that has been over-treated, over-dried, or stripped of the organic matter they need to survive, and that your soil needs to function. If you want to support them, and there are now very good scientific reasons to do so, the approach is simple. Leave organic matter on the soil surface. Leaf litter, wood chip mulch, the remains of last season's plants. Keep moisture consistent. Stop using broad-spectrum pesticides that kill indiscriminately. And the next time you lift a pot and find them there, put the pot back gently. They were doing something important in the dark, and they will go back to doing it the moment the light is gone. The next time someone in your household reaches for a shoe near the garden, tell them what they are about to step on. Not a pest, Not a problem. A crustacean that has been cleaning your soil, filtering your toxins, and building the foundation of your garden's health. Quietly, continuously, and completely without asking for anything in return. Have you ever found hundreds of them under a pot or stone and wondered what they were doing there? Tell me about it in the comments below. I read every single one, and this community has some of the best garden stories I have ever heard. And if you want to understand another creature that is doing invisible, essential work in your garden right now, one that most people have never thought to look for, the next video is already waiting for you.